All right, good morning, everybody, on this April 12th. Okay, we have a wonderful guest in store for today, but before we do that, let's say hi. Good morning, everybody. Before I mute you, how's everybody doing out there today?
Morning.
Good
Fabulous.
morning, everybody. Woo! All right, hold on one second here. All right, so I've muted everybody. So today we have a wonderful guest from California who is the marketing queen of the company, VP of Marketing, Miss Maria Hill. Maria, welcome to the show. Just hit *6 on your phone so we can hear you, please.
Can you hear me?
There she is, yeah, loud and clear.
Nice.
So today we want to talk about all kinds of goodies, Maria. But let's start. Just give them a quick, pretty much everybody on this call. I know we have some new people on because I got some texts over the weekend about how to get on this call. So just tell them, give them a little quick, how long you've been with the company, what you've done before, all that good stuff if you could, please.
Oh, my. That's a lot to think about. I'm just joking. Well, God, I won't date myself too much.
Tell them about your, weren't you driving funny cars over the weekend?
No, but my son was for sure. I think he was doing go-karting.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
We were sitting at softball games. I was doing what, right? Beware what you put on Facebook. It's always there.
Right.
No, I've been in the business for, probably over 25, possibly 30 years. I won't date myself, in the real estate industry. I started out with the number one independent company out here in California. Worked for Prudential California for 15 years before I came on with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services about 6 years ago to work with Mark Stark and Gordon Miles as a tri-state marketing director here for California, Arizona, and Nevada.
Yeah. It's funny you say those, Gordon and Mark, because I remember when Mark, because, you can say it was First Team where you were working. And
right.
I remember when we were, it's a long debacle, but we ended up starting a company versus buying a company and then started recruiting agents. And I remember when Gordon and Mark said, sit down with Maria, interview her, and tell us what you think. And I went back to them and I said, the saying, I don't know how to dance, but I can tell when somebody knows how to dance. I said that's the same thing I feel about the systems that we have in marketing. I don't know a lot about it, but I know that she does. So I would hire her. That was my comment anyway.
Thank you.
And let me just say this. I've been in the business for 6 years, a long time like you, and I am anything but old, just like you are anything but old. All right? So
right, we're young in heart, for
sure. That's right. We're experienced.
I like that.
You know what experience means, right? You've just made all the mistakes that you need to, so you got it down now.
Right? Experts now. We're experts. That's exactly what it means.
There you go, even experts. All right, so what I wanted to talk about today is, and just pretend everybody on this call has never heard these things before, because as I do my coaching, even though we have incredible tools, incredible marketing, sometimes even the people I'm coaching that are around this stuff, still, it's all new to them. It's all, they need to be spoon-fed, and rightfully so. We have so many good things to offer. So let's just talk with some basics about marketing with the company and so forth. Give them an idea of, I know in the VAC we have incredible stock stuff for them to use. Let's start there.
Right. Well, I think first when it comes to marketing, I think accessing the VAC is probably one of the first things you want to do, and just go through a class. We have the education department where we have Mary, San, and Lorette, and Chris that teach weekly VAC classes that really helps the agents digest and understand piece by piece the VAC too, because I think that's imperative. I think it is, you're absolutely right. We have so many tools, you guys. It is out of sight, out of mind. So don't, beat yourself up for not knowing exactly where to go. We've actually had to create, and we are still creating videos and processes for you guys so things make a little bit more sense and easier for you to find. So when obviously when you first log on to the VAC, you guys are looking at tiles. We call them little tiles. They're like little squares on the home page. And to be honest with you, each of those, and you'll look at the top 3 that we have on there, it's Apex, AdWorks, and BuySide. Those are your 3 top tools in the company. They're going to help you generate business. I mean, those are the 3 top things I think you need to focus on, that you need to learn. And so, again, we try to make it as easy as possible. We have, when you talk marketing, of course, you have to go into the document center, and then you have to click on marketing, and we have a tab with a list of things that you guys can go through. But I don't want to go too much into that. I mean, when I think about the VAC, I think about so many different things that you can do, but again, I go back to, you got to take piece by piece and digest it and understand it before you go to the next one. So again, Apex is obviously our concierge service. We're giving that away for free right now. It's usually a value of $250 because we believe in the product so much that it's helping our agents get listings at the listing appointment. So if anyone on the call hasn't signed up for Apex, I would click on that and sign up for Apex, because you get one-on-one training. If you have signed up for Apex, I guess the next question I would have for you is, are you telling the story? Are you letting all your clients know that you have all of these buy before you sell programs or renovation programs where they can renovate their house at no cost to them? I think on my call last week with the North Scottsdale office, I was trying to explain to them is once you go through Apex, you now have to tell the story, right? And so in the VAC, under the marketing tab, we have an Apex link. And that link will give you a ton of social media posts that you guys can post every single week about what you have to provide through the Apex program. So if you haven't checked out the marketing tab with Apex on it, we have postcards, flyers, social media, and we continue to add more and more to that. But Apex would be my number one thing I would look at right now, because it's going to help you differentiate yourself out there. Because right now, you guys, the competition is very competitive. Everyone's looking for that listing, and so what are you going to do to stand out? What are you going to do to make someone, call you over someone else they know in real estate? And it's going to be by telling your story on what you have to offer that's different than someone else. And I think Apex allows you guys to do that. So that would be my number one thing in the VAC to talk about when it comes to marketing.
Yeah, and you started off with the tile. Like, for instance, I tell people all the time, and I know this joke is kind of old, but I tell them, if you just take your current picture, not 15 years old, okay, current picture and information, and you use the stock market. If I got back into real estate today, I wouldn't go in the stuff, and I'm a walking testimony for this, because even the stuff that I use with my personal stuff is stock stuff out of, the resource center or the VAC that you do for me, or that Sydney does, but or Dan, it's pretty much, it's nothing crazy. It's all stuff that is just there. So for all your marketing needs, if you just the stock stuff, I think it's incredible. That's all I would use today. It would be 10 times better than anything I've ever used before. And then the next thing that you brought up was, sliding right into Apex, is you have to ask yourself this question. Okay, so Apex is like the universal tool. No matter what price you're in, no matter what you're doing, Apex is a tool that everybody can use. Even if they don't use it, as Mark Stark says, it's a tremendous listing tool to talk about to get over to their property. But then I would say that you decide, how am I going to do my business? Because like the buffet at the Bellagio, you go there, and although I've seen people try to have a little of everything, a little embarrassing, but if you can't have the whole buffet is the point. You can only, so how am I going to do my business, and then link it up with the tools that the company has for you? Would you agree, Maria?
No, I agree, and I think that with Apex, and what we've really tried to figure out is, what are the challenges out there in the market? What are the challenges on why the consumer isn't listing their home right now? A lot of it, again, is that void of them not knowing where they're going to go. They know their home is going to sell, but where am I going to go? So if you guys can start putting out solutions out there and communicating to your potential clients, right, that you have, a place where they can buy before they sell. They can buy as a full cash buyer, right? And you're offering that service to them. You're more likely to get a call if you're not putting those messages out there. So again, all of our pieces in Apex really is geared to help you get your next listing. And if you go through the Apex class and you see that maybe we don't have a piece that's a message that you want to communicate, shoot me an email in marketing and I'll be more than happy to make it for you, because I have agents call me every day when they get done with Apex training saying, Maria, I want to tell my clients I have this to offer. And so again, we've been building and adding more and more social media images, doing the before and after to, for the buyers that are out there, fixing up their homes, getting ready to sell so they can sell for top dollar. So again, whatever you feel works best for you, we pretty much have all those messages in the VAC. So it's definitely a great marketing place for you guys to go to start telling your story on Apex.
Yeah, and explain to him a little bit. I mean, just so, because, let's pretend somebody on this call doesn't understand what that means. So what you just said is, on my property, I'm afraid I can't find something else. So give them a little, that process, what Apex would do to help in that, just so they understand.
Well, technically, what Apex does, and I won't go too much into the details because there's so much to go into, but
right.
On this particular situation, when it comes to, Apex would actually buy your client's home at a certain
right.
value. So then they can turn around and buy as a full cash buyer, because nowadays, things are selling off the market so fast. You don't want your property to be a contingent sale where you have to sell your house first before you can buy your next home, because that's just never going to work in this type of market. So this program allows them to buy your client's home, and then it gives your client a full cash offer that they can turn around and go buy their dream home with.
Right. And if they, if work needs to be done and they sell the property and there's a difference between the two, so as Mark says, if you have a person who's even considering an iBuyer to pull off the same thing that you just mentioned, and they don't know about Apex, I mean, if they do know about Apex, it's kind of a no-brainer because they get the same benefit, right? And any money if it's over. That's pretty sweet, I think.
Yeah, and so you'll see the messages that we have in the VAC for the agents to use for social media is, and one that we're even using as a company is the buy before you sell. And what it does is that it gives four little benefits. No more contingent offers, win your bids, let us help you buy with cash, and avoid having to move twice. And so that's really what people are really liking out there. And again, we say, what if you could sell your home faster and for a higher price with no upfront cost or interest? That's the other flip side. That's the renovation process of Apex. It allows, again, the agents to, if they don't want to do that and they just need to fix up their home, we can have that as well. So we have a couple different, and I've been sharing this with a lot of agents, we again have a lot of different materials in the VAC for you guys to use to tell that story. And again, what we've been doing is we also have a video on Apex. We're about to reshoot a new video right now, but we do currently have a video sitting on the VAC that you can post to your social media. And you can do things like, new market demands, new options, right? And then post the video. Or you can say something like, want to sell your home but worried about where you'll go? What if there was a way to buy before you sell and do so with a cash offer? Call me today for details and post that video. Or again, here's one more. A home needs sprucing up before listing but don't have time, vision, or money. Call me for details. So these are little messages that you guys can constantly feed into your social media. Now, remember, when you guys do these types of posts, you definitely just don't want to post and go. You guys want to post and then you want to boost. And I say you want to boost because you want to boost it to your geographic target area. So let's just say you guys are trying to build a farm, or you have a specific farm or a specific, demographic that you guys want to hit. Pay that extra $5 on that boost and grow that audience looking at that post, because you don't want to continue saying the same story to your family and friends. You want to say it to your family, friends, and new potential clients. And so by you boosting it by $5, you could be showing up in other people's feeds, and then again at the same time you're growing your audience on your own personal Facebook business page. Same thing with Instagram. And I would tell you guys, is anything that you're posting on your wall, make sure you guys are doing in stories, and definitely make sure you're doing it on Instagram. Instagram to me is the place where everyone is going. Facebook is sort of the second place that they're continuously going, but start with Instagram first, then Facebook. And then again, make sure you're doing your stories, because they get 3 times more eye and engagement than the wall does. So just a little snip on that one.
Exactly right. And that's exactly, so think about this now. think about this. All the little teasers that you just gave, right, that you could use on social media, that's pretty much what your iBuyer competition's doing too, because, you know, that's how they're getting people's attentions, through spending all kinds of money advertising and so forth. So if you use these types of things to get their attention, why wouldn't they try you as well? And boosting, I love that. You know, this is what I was talking about earlier when I said, if you actually look at what's in there and all the stuff that you guys have put in there, you know, is pretty incredible stuff. And you guys can take your picture, put your information in there, send it out, boost it out, okay? And then you guys are getting tremendous coverage from this. Because once again, even if they don't use it and they're in your social media feed, they're still seeing you cutting edge stuff, you know, with the best brand in the business. So that's all great stuff. Plus, I know with Apex, I mean, it's the owner's such hands-on that they look at all kinds of other scenarios all the time, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, and you know, and I know we're talking Apex. I would say that's one of our number one tools right now. But then,
yeah,
you know, we can't forget about AdWorks. You know, again, I am a true believer in the next, you know, this year and next year, you know, 70% of your business, you guys, is going to come from your past clients. And so what agents are really starting to do, instead of just hitting your past clients every quarter, you know what I mean, or only talking to them once a year, we've seen a huge increase with agents understanding the importance of marketing to their past clients. So they're using in the VAC our AdWorks platform that allows you guys to market to your sphere. And you're looking at, you know, a mailer technically to market to your sphere can cost anywhere to $300 to $500, right? Because they're all over the place, and you only market to them maybe, you know, 3-4 times a year. We don't have a lot of agents that are marketing them on a consistent basis, but now you guys can, for only $99 through AdWorks on the VAC, you can click on a campaign and start marketing to your sphere, where your sphere can see you up to 5 to 10 times a month. And again, it wouldn't be in their face, but it would be on all the websites that they're looking at. So we've seen a lot of agents call marketing and ask us to create specific ads to their sphere, just as staying top of mind. So I would say our number 2 tool in the company that's really working, in addition to just digital marketing that we're doing with the listings, is the agents paying that $99. It's less than what they would pay for one mailer that goes out, and just, again, they have it quick in their hand and then it goes in the trash. These ads for Sphere is allowing our agents to really stay top of mind with their past clients. So that is just, I would say, our number 2 tool right now that agents are using, and we see more and more agents going this route. You know, they used to spend last year, a lot of agents I saw spend a lot of money on Google AdWords and things like that. But this really is, but there was no return on that at all. I mean, right. A lot of agents didn't return, but where they're seeing the return at is their ads for Sphere on our AdWorks program. So that would be probably my number 2 tool that I would ask agents to dive into and to learn more about. They can click on it, and it takes them through, you know, a video that it sort of explains our AdWorks to Sphere and how it markets to them. And I think that that's a really, really crucial tool that every agent should be using this year.
Yeah, it's basically, just to summarize it, AdWorks, first off, I think, imagine if you do the Apex stuff and then use the AdWorks, and now you get the cutting edge stuff. And basically what AdWorks does is, you know, with your sphere and the people you're marketing to, it basically follows them around when they pull something up. It's up as well, right? So it's like you're everywhere always, pretty much is what it does, right?
Yeah, it actually, you're giving AdWorks, obviously your database, right, of emails address, and everyone knows that an email address is connected to an IPS address, right? So when your clients are searching Amazon or on Lowe's or on YouTube, you name it, wherever they're at, you know, what they're doing is they're allowing your advertisement of either saying that you're the realtor of choice or whatever, you know, market's hot, whatever messages you're wanting out there. And what's cool about this program is you can change your message. Let's just say in between your just listed, you can change the message up to every single week. You can have a new message hitting your sphere of influence. But it's cool. Really impressive, and you know, you get reports on it, and it's really worth, if you really want to see where your money's going and you really want to market and stay top of mind, our AdWorks program to Sphere is the place to go. Okay. So we've covered a couple of goodies. We've covered Apex. Now you just told them why AdWorks is, and both of those are one's free and one's really inexpensive, basically free, especially if you're already mailing. I agree with you 100%.
Mailing, I mean, I'm the grassroots guy. I still believe, and you can't do this in California yet, sorry, but door knocking and dropping incredibly junk mail, I'd rather see them do email, and especially with, okay, well, let's call this number 3 then. What about the neighborhood reports and something like our newsletters? What about those out to your sphere as well? I think that's what I'd be doing today if I was an agent for sure.
No, I agree. I think those the neighborhood reports, and those are the ones that are very specific to that area, and they're very hyper local, and those generate a lot of great feedback. I literally just got an email from Mark that a agent was sending him where I think it was Vicki Dawson in Indian Wells or Palm Desert was saying how she's been using the neighborhood reports, and she actually just got a lead over the weekend. So I just saw that this morning, but. Going back real quick until we get into neighborhood reports, I have some stats because I think people always want proven,
sure.
They want proven results. And interesting enough, I just got this in, and they were saying that if you package direct mail and digital, you have a 118% increase on response, which I thought was really surprising. You don't only just want to do one thing, but when you do email and digital. They said it's an increase of 77% reach and 22% conversion ratio. So, again, if you're doing those email campaigns and you're doing digital, that's huge. You know what I mean? Again, to increase it by 77% and a 22% conversion ratio. So I just thought I'd share some stats because I just got that from AdWorks as well. But with the neighborhood reports, yes, those are one of the number one pieces and probably one of the number one things that since we're talking about sphere of influence, that I would set up all my past clients with is those neighborhood reports. Who doesn't want to be in the know of what's going on in the neighborhood? Right. It keeps you as a market expert because it's giving them valuable information on what's going on in real estate. Again, we never want to get, carried away and sending them things that don't have anything to do with what we do, right? And so the neighborhood report stays focused on what they want to know, right? What the value of their home is, all the sales, all the recent sales. I mean, and I got to say, I necessarily wouldn't set them up with the market report because that's very general, but if you're doing the neighborhood report, that's where you're going to really see the difference. I think it was Matt Suter, we just set him up with neighborhood reports, and he was about to spend a lot of money, actually, to hire someone to do some reporting for him like that. And once I showed him the neighborhood report, his assistant called the next week and said, how can I set up our entire database that way? So Lorette went and did a one-on-one meeting with them to show them. So the agents see the value. You just got to make sure you're aware of the tool and what you guys need to be using, and that would definitely be that neighborhood report.
Yeah, I can't tell you, and this is so fulfilling. I know for Gordon as well as and Mark, obviously, and yourself, is that I have a lot of agents I coach that used to use Top Producer, and they're like, oh, my God, my assistant told me, let's download everything into the VAC 2.0 because it's way more rock star. And it's specific. It has all your branded marketing. To me, it's an absolute no-brainer, especially with the cost it would cost you. If you're going to, and I always say this because I speak to our education classes all the time. People getting their licenses. I teach the CE classes, Success Series. If you want to run a business and be a business person, okay, and get repeat and referral business year after year, we're the best gig in town with the best name brand. If you want to go, 100%, if I do 12, we're not the company for you because you're not thinking long-term. You're not thinking bottom line. You're thinking only the FSBO or the commission cutter seller. They're not thinking, today, here's a question I would ask a seller. Do you want to pay the smallest money in commission or do you want to net the most money? Because they don't go together. Which do you prefer? Really? And that's how we are as a company. If you want to look at your bottom line and be a business person and make money and help your clients and, as Mark said, be consumer-centric, we're the best gig in town. If you want to look at each transaction, nickel and dime it, then, we're probably not the best gig. But one more thing, Rick, is that neighborhood report. Since we're talking social and digital as well, you guys, is you want to make sure you go in, and this is probably one of the best things you could do, is set yourself up with a neighborhood report so you can sort of see what value you're bringing to the table. I think it also allows you to keep in the know of what's going on in the market
Not that you don't know, but it's always great to get that quick email in the morning, and you in a snapshot really see an overview of the market that you're covering. So if anyone asks you any questions, you guys are sort of on it. But at the same time, is when you guys get that neighborhood report for the farm that you're working, is it has, when you get that email, you guys, hyperlinks in it. And what agents I don't see doing enough is they're not sharing that hyperlink, because you can share it to Facebook, and it will automatically put it into your stories. And so, again, don't forget, at least once a month, you guys, be sharing your neighborhood reports into your social media channels, because you're going to get more business that way. You're going to get more engagement, because it breaks it down and it lets people see, you know, what you're doing. And so, again, those neighborhood reports all have hyperlinks where you can share it in LinkedIn, you can share it in Facebook, Instagram. And what's really cool, again, is I remember when I posted it on my wall, when I did post it on my stories, I got probably over 90 views versus the 5 likes that I got on my wall. So again, it knows that too, so it automatically does post it to your stories, which I thought was super cool, that your neighborhood reports can go online as well with you. So don't think about them as, I'm just sending them as an email, right, to my clients. You guys can share all of the stuff on social, and the more you get out there, the more engagement you're going to get.
Yeah, because it's like anything else. It's massive exposure with consistency, and then eventually you create a pipeline of predictable business, and that's exactly what we're trying to help them do here. So, well, Maria, any final thoughts you want to leave these wonderful people? We're right at like 28 minutes.
Well, you know, I think it's all about execution. So if you're on this call, just take one thing and master it. You know what I mean? And don't feel like you have to learn it all at one place. And know that if you get frustrated, or you just don't know where to start, or you just don't know what to do, is to pick up the phone and call us, and we'll step you through it, because it is that easy. But again, just take one tool at a time and master it before you go to the next. That's about it.
Great advice. All right, Maria Hill, we want to thank you very much for taking 30 minutes of your day out today. I really appreciate it. Everybody else, we'll be doing this again in exactly 1 week. Thanks, Maria. I really appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you guys for joining. I'll talk to you later.
You got it. Thank you.
Bye.